Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So today I have some OJ Howard news and I have some Trent Williams to the Vikings news. If you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get right into it. So like I said, I'm going to be talking about OJ Howard to the Redskins and a possible Trent Williams to the Vikings trade. So obviously a lot of this is rumors, but we do have some good sources on at least the OJ Howard stuff. So Julie Donaldson, who's been on top of most of the Redskins news this offseason, I don't think she's only gotten like one small thing wrong, and it's about Eric Flowers. But besides that, she's gotten almost everything right this offseason. And today or yesterday, she said, I'll read the tweet, but you guys can see it on your screen too. Info on OJ Howard. Some Redskins would love to have him. Tight end, obvious need. Reports I get measure caution on expectations of former first round pick as a receiver. Best thing he does is run deep seam routes. A new surrounding may help. So they are interested in him, and like she said, a new surrounding definitely could help. Really, Bruce Arians, no tight ends really flourish under his system. You've never seen really any great tight ends in Arizona, in even Tampa Bay. Really, he hasn't had any good tight ends, but he's only coached for one season now. This is his second year. But besides that, hasn't really had his system isn't really great for tight ends. So I think a new change of scenery would help. I'll show you guys how we could do that in a trade, and also I'll be talking about the Vikings news real quick. But like I said, I think last offseason they were looking for a second or last trade deadline, but he hasn't gotten better from them, so I don't think that's helped. So I think right now they're probably looking for a third rounder, and I think they might be able to settle for a fourth round. So if we give them 108, I would do it immediately. If they're like, okay, we'll do it for pick 108, which is our first fourth round pick, I would do that right away because I looked and a few scouts, Daniel Jeremiah and a couple others, said that OJ Howard is a better tight end than any of these guys coming out of the draft. That's what he thinks at least. So, and we're probably going to get someone in the fourth round anyways, so we can get an established tight end anyways who can start right away with our early fourth round pick. And or what we could do is if the price is a little bit higher, let's say we trade Trent on day one of the draft, get uh, a third a third and two fourths, or something along those lines, a second or a two thirds, something along those lines. We could use maybe a fourth and like a fifth rounder and trade that for OJ Howard. I would do that just because he's an established tight end. Yes, he hasn't had amazing years, but he's had three 400 to 600 yard seasons in the NFL. He's super young, 25 years old, played at Alabama, and definitely can, with a change of scenery, can help us out a lot and a change of system. So we'll look at his stats and then I'll go into the Minnesota news real quick and show you how we can do it in a trade. So last year, played all right, 14 games, 459 yards, and a touchdown. But in 2018, when Bruce Arians wasn't the head coach, in 10 games, he had 565 yards with 5 touchdowns. And if he would have stayed healthy for the rest of the season, I can't remember what injury it was, but he had an injury at the end of the in the middle of the season, which caused him to miss the rest of the season. And he was on his way to probably around 850 yards because his average was around 60 yards a game. So he was on his way to a really good season, and that injury kind of killed him. And as you see, his numbers got worse last year. He did stay healthy, but it's partly because of Bruce Arians in his offense. Not a discredit to Bruce Arians, but his offense just isn't great for tight ends. So I think OJ Howard with a new change of scenery could definitely be good. And I'm willing to give up a fourth rounder, especially since our fourth rounder is an early. I think they could potentially do that. Definitely wouldn't give up 66 though, because I think we can get a starting tackle there or playmaker there. But you also got to remember that these picks at 66, 108, they're not guaranteed to work out, and OJ Howard's already at least a okay starter in this league, and definitely could be better than that just because he's just getting started in this league. So that's that. I'll go on to showing how we can do that in a trade later. But yesterday, John Keim kind of confirmed something. He said something earlier in his podcast about the Vikings being interested in Trent Williams, and he confirmed it today, saying that yesterday that the Vikings are interested in Trent Williams, but nothing has gone on for certain. A lot of these fake accounts are kind of like Pro Football or whatever, saying that Trent Williams is and the Vikings are making a trade soon. but it's nothing's finalized and nothing's really that we know, nothing's being in the works right now, but they are definitely interested. So look for that team to be interested in the draft. Look for that in the draft because they also have a late second round pick, so they could potentially do it. And it's not like they don't have much draft capital where them giving up a second round pick kind of kills them. No, they have two first round picks this year, so I think it definitely could work out. And or we could get Riley Reef and like if we get Riley Reef, 2 fourths and a fifth, like I said earlier in that video, a few videos back, we could use 2 fourths or a fourth and a fifth round pick to trade for OJ Howard. So then we end up getting a starting left tackle and a starting tight end in that Trent Williams trade and end up with an additional fourth round pick. If you think about it, I don't think a Trent Williams for OJ Howard trade straight up is going to happen. I really don't. I think it's going to be Trent Williams for picks, use those picks to trade for OJ Howard if that ends up being the case. Or it could just be we could try to get another tight end whether it be Delaney Walker in free agency, Trey Burton, it was reported that we're not going to go after him, but it could be David Njoku, any of these tight ends on other teams that have established tight ends already, or we could just draft someone this year in a draft like a fourth rounder like Albert O, anyone like that. But right now I'm going to show you guys how this would work out on paper. So Trent Williams, I already showed you guys this, but I'll show you again real quick. So Trent Williams to the Vikings for Riley Reef really wouldn't free us up too much cap space, but it would give us, like I said, a starting left tackle it would give us a starting left tackle plus a couple picks, hopefully. And maybe we obviously don't know what's going on behind the scenes, what's actually being given up. Maybe they'll give us Reef and a third rounder. If they give us Reef and a third rounder, I would jump on that immediately. So this right here saves us 1.5 million in cap space, and if you put in the picks we have too, it kind of equals out to about it because we have to pay obviously the draft prospects, so it kind of evens out. And by the way, the cap space on the right is not right. We have around $25 million, so don't look at that. But we definitely do need to fill this left tackle spot this year, whether it be in the draft, in a trade, or in free agency. The remaining free agents, there's a couple good ones that I really think, a couple good ones that could start right away and be better than what we had last year. We could go for Jason Peters or Kelvin Beachum, who would both be average to above average starters, which is a lot better than what we had last year. Or we could go back to what we did have last year and get Donald Penn, which obviously he's going to be worse than last year because he's getting older. He's a lot older. And he didn't play terrible last year, but he definitely played below average in my opinion. So, I don't know. We definitely need to address that spot. And I don't think in the draft, I think we do need to address it in the draft, but I really don't think that the guys in the third round become immediate starters. Also, one thing I wanted to say, it's nothing too big, but NFL Sports Update, really good, reliable source, said, this is what he said. So he said teams that have done serious research on Utah State quarterback Jordan Love, Patriots, Saints, Packers, Dolphins, Panthers, Redskins. Obviously, we do think that we're drafting Chase Young with the number 2 pick. I really don't think I'm squashing these rumors right away because I think you do have to do research as a new head coach on these quarterbacks. But with that number 2 pick, there's 95% chance we're not taking Jordan Love, especially since he's probably going to go far further than that. Unless we're absolutely in love with him, I really don't see that happening. But I just really hope that we just stick with Chase Young as our number 2 pick and stick with Haskins as our quarterback because I think you got to give him at least another year. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't think that this really means anything. Obviously, could try to be smoke screening to try to get more value for the picks. I really don't know. But we'll see. Jordan Love is an interesting prospect. Could go top 10 or could go at the end of the first round. We will see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on those notifications because you're not going to want to miss any of the draft videos that I post. And yeah, just stay tuned for the draft. Probably going to do another live stream on Wednesday. and we'll see what I do from there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, and peace.